Greetings, Centerville United Methodist Church. This is Will Montgomery, lead pastor, coming to you with a good word on this Thursday, August 27th. This summer, we've been lifting up a series on the Lord's Prayer, and we've been using supportive scriptures to each Sunday on the different themes that we have in that prayer that Jesus taught us to pray. So we haven't been attending to the lectionary text. Now, when I say lectionary text, those are the prescribed lessons on any given Sunday for a 3-year cycle. And the idea is that when the people gather for worship, we will have heard the entirety of the Holy Scriptures. Even though we're not attending to the lectionary text on this Sunday, I still go to them. And the lesson for this Sunday is from Matthew. It's chapter 14, beginning with verse 13. It's a story of the feeding of the 5,000. And so instead of reading that story for you from my desk in my office, I thought I'd come here to the Recreation and Outreach Center to have the food in the background as I read this lesson. Listen to the story from Matthew. I'm going to begin with verse 14. When Jesus went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them, and he cured their sick. When it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a deserted place, and the hour is now late, and send the crowds away so they may go to the villages to buy food for themselves." Jesus said to them, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." They replied, "We have nothing here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he said, "Bring them here to me." Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, and he blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the crowds. All ate and were filled. And they took up what was left over, the broken pieces, 12 baskets full. All those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. I want to suggest to you, church, that we are living out this gospel story. I mean, each day people bring food to the church. It could be a few cans of soup or vegetables. It could be a bag full of boxes of cereal or boxes of pasta. In any given week, we are filling up a few grocery carts. No one person is bringing all the food, but together we are doing this. And the food is brought to the Recreation Outreach Center, the Rock. The emphasis this summer has truly been on the outreach portion of this building, the outreach center. It truly has been the center for our food distribution. In addition to the food that has been placed in the baskets, so many people have donated funds for this food ministry. And so we have a volunteer who orders more food. And then we have more volunteers who come and sort and bag the food. And then we have others who distribute that food in the schools and in the library. And then also during Grace Ministries on the second Saturday of the month. In this biblical story, the need was great. Thousands of people had come to hear Jesus, and it was getting late. At least the disciples had concern enough for the people to basically tell Jesus, stop with the miracles and stop with the teaching, send the people away so they could go and buy food for themselves. But Jesus doesn't say, it's okay, I'll feed them. Rather, he said, you give them something to eat. Jesus took the loaves and the fish. He blessed and broke the bread and gave it to the disciples to feed the people. And that's what we've been doing this summer. We've been living out the story. For months, people have been bringing a couple of bags, and together we're filling up carts. For months, people have been donating $5, $10, $50, even a whole stimulus check to fund this food ministry. And so what have we been doing? We have been giving all of this to Jesus and letting Jesus bless it, and then hearing the call to feed the people. You feed others. You know, each week I get a report from Phil Moore, our serve director, on just the library food distribution, not the whole distribution of the schools and through Grace Ministries, but just the library food distribution. In the 12 weeks that we have been doing this, we have been feeding 1,500 families. That is over 6,800 individuals. And we are averaging each week 129 families, 573 individuals. We just had a food distribution yesterday, as this is Thursday morning, and you'll see that there's still plenty of food. We have leftovers from the food distribution yesterday. We have more than 12 basketfuls. You'll see food on this wall. Along the other side of the wall, on the other basketball goal, there's more food there. There's food underneath, right below the stage. So there's food in abundance here in this place, ready for another distribution. So we have more than 12 basketfuls in this room. And so I would say that Jesus is at it again. But so are his modern day disciples. We have enough to keep going, to relive the story over and over again, and letting this center continue to be a means of outreach. For that, I'm thankful. How wonderful to be living out this good news story. Thank you, church. God bless.